We continue with our talk about the Dow 30 in the new year. Jim Cramer has done some extensive research talking about which ones he thinks will be good performers and not so great performers.
And altogether, you've got a decent return in the Dow, but mostly because of the dividend.
Yes.
I wouldn't be buying these stocks if it weren't for the dividend. I would not. The Dow, you're going to get almost half of your performance from the dividend.
All right.
Not that excited.
Well, let's talk about DuPont. This is a company like a GE where there's just so much going on.
Well, DuPont is part of what I regard as being a half of a Monsanto story. Monsanto's going to report tomorrow. I think it's going to be monster. People will then remember that DuPont's got about 35-40% ag. DuPont does have drugs. People have to understand that drugs are going to go generic 2011. That's a big risk that no one's talking about. It obviously has a lot of housing. But there's also a more encouraging story going on in chemicals, which there's been a massive destocking of chemicals. They basically... inventories have been by the wayside. They just sold stuff. Why? Because they're very worried about worldwide slowdown. So you could see, like we saw in steel, like we saw in copper, that at a certain point inventories get so low that they can get some pricing power again. That's what's happened with copper after Freeport, which I own, fractionalwarsplus.com, cut production very big. So DuPont is a destocking story, and it's a short term. It's got the seed story off of the piggyback of what I think is going to be the blowout Monsanto quarter, but longer term problems that are going to make it so that I think that it's not as good as PPG, as I point out in the piece.
All right, and I like that you go through these not just to say yes or no for these stocks, but what are the competitors?
Right, and the piece is about if you like Coke, you should like Pepsi better. Right. If you like DuPont, it's PPG that's better. Because I don't want to give people, I use it as a template.
Okay, and then General Electric, you work for GE.
Very confusing stock. I get registered units in GE. I work for GE through CNBC. Frankly, I don't understand why the stock is where it is. It's got FDIC. It's got protection from the federal government on the debt issues. Yesterday, I tried to price the debt. It was at 1.7% for the 2-year. It blew out immediately. GE scaling back its commercial finance. Farnoosh, I know it sounds like that I'm shilling, but I don't know why this stock isn't going back to 20.
All right. Thanks very much, Jim Cramer. We got a lot. We have 30 stocks to be exact to go through. We've only gone through less than half yet, so make sure you stay tuned for more of our videos here on thestreet.com TV. We're running a special promotion with this as well, so check out our site to learn more.